The warning klaxons pierced through the usual hum of the EDS Sentinel's bridge, their urgent wail sending ripples of tension through the crew. Commander Diana Blackwood stood at her command station, her dark eyes fixed on the massive holographic display dominating the center of the bridge. The unknown vessel that had triggered their defense systems was unlike anything humanity had encountered in its centuries of space exploration. "Status report," Blackwood commanded, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. Lieutenant Marcus Torres, the ship's sensor specialist, worked his console with practiced efficiency, his fingers dancing across the holographic interface. "The vessel appeared on our long-range scanners 3 minutes ago, Commander," Torres reported, his usual jovial demeanor replaced by professional focus. "It emerged from what appears to be a new form of faster-than-light travel. Energy signatures are off the charts, and its size." He paused, double-checking his readings. "It's roughly 3 times the size of our largest battleship." Security Chief Akiko Tanaka stepped forward, her cybernetic eye whirring as it processed the tactical data streaming across her vision. "Their weapons systems are unlike anything in our database, Commander. The energy readings suggest capabilities far beyond our current defensive measures." Blackwood absorbed the information, her mind already racing through potential scenarios. The EDS Sentinel was Earth's most advanced defender, representing the pinnacle of human military technology. But this visitor made their achievements seem primitive in comparison. "Open a channel across all known frequencies," she ordered. "If they can travel between stars, they can probably understand us." Communications Officer James Wesley nodded, his dark hands moving across his station with precision. "Channel open, Commander. Broadcasting on all frequencies, including quantum bands." Blackwood straightened her uniform, conscious of the weight of this moment. First contact scenarios had been drilled into every Space Force officer, but the reality felt far more daunting than any simulation. "Unknown vessel, this is Commander Diana Blackwood of the Earth Defense Ship Sentinel. You have entered restricted space. Please identify yourself and state your intentions." The seconds stretched into minutes as the crew waited for a response. The alien ship continued its approach, its massive form growing larger on their displays. Its hull seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it, creating an unsettling void against the star-filled background. "No response on any channel," Wesley reported, frustration evident in his voice. "Wait, we're picking up some kind of energy pattern. It could be an attempt at communication, but it's not like any language we've encountered." Torres's console suddenly erupted with alerts. "Commander, they're powering up something. Energy readings are spiking across multiple spectrums." Blackwood's decision was instant. "Battle stations, raise shields and bring all weapons online. Alert the rest of the fleet. We may have first contact turning hostile." The bridge erupted into controlled chaos as crew members rushed to their combat positions. Multiple ships deploying from the main vessel, Tanaka reported, her cybernetic eye glowing intensely. "Smaller craft, but each one appears to be armed. They're moving to surround us." As the situation escalated, Blackwood felt the familiar calm of combat settling over her. This was what the Sentinel was built for, what her crew had trained for. Whether this encounter ended in peace or war would depend on the next few moments. "Keep our weapons hot, but don't fire unless fired upon," she ordered. "Continue broadcasting our message. If they want to fight, let them make the first move. But if they want to talk..." She let the thought hang in the air, hoping that somewhere on that massive alien vessel, someone was willing to listen. The alien ships continued their precise movement, forming a perfect geometric pattern around the Sentinel. Their coordination was flawless, suggesting either advanced AI control or incredibly skilled pilots. Either way, it demonstrated a level of technology that made Blackwood increasingly uneasy. "New energy signature detected," Torres announced, his voice tight with concern. "They're scanning us, Commander. These scans, they're going right through our shields like they're not even there." Blackwood watched as more Earth defense ships moved into position behind the Sentinel, presenting a united front against the unknown threat. The next few minutes would determine whether humanity faced a new ally or its greatest challenge yet. The stage was set, and the future of Earth hung in the balance. The tension on the EDS Sentinel's bridge had reached a fever pitch. Lieutenant Marcus Torres hadn't taken his eyes off his sensor readings for the past hour, analyzing every fluctuation in the alien vessel's energy signatures. Something about their patterns seemed deliberate, almost like a coded message hidden within the electromagnetic noise. "Commander," Torres called out, his voice cutting through the tense silence. "I think I've found something." Commander Blackwood moved to his station, studying the complex wave patterns dancing across his screen. These energy pulses aren't random. They're repeating in a mathematical sequence. Security Chief Tanaka joined them, her cybernetic eye processing the data in real time. It could be a trap, she warned, years of security training evident in her cautious tone. The Sentinel's AI core is particularly vulnerable to quantum-based cyber attacks. Blackwood studied the patterns, noting their precise timing. Or it could be their way of establishing communication. Their technology is clearly advanced enough that they could have attacked already if that was their intention. The alien fleet maintained its perfect formation around the Sentinel, their dark hulls absorbing nearby starlight. The main vessel loomed above them like an artificial eclipse, its size making Earth's most advanced warship feel insignificant in comparison. "Commander," Wesley called from his communication station, "I'm detecting unusual activity in the quantum bands." The patterns Lieutenant Torres identified. They're appearing across all communication frequencies now. Before Blackwood could respond, the ship's AI interface flickered to life. "Warning. Unknown data stream attempting to interface with ship systems. Quantum firewall engaging." The bridge lights dimmed momentarily as power was diverted to the ship's cyber defenses. Tanaka's cybernetic systems flashed in warning. "They're probing our defenses, testing our technological capabilities. This isn't just first contact. They're assessing us as a potential threat." Torres continued analyzing the data stream, his expression shifting from concentration to surprise. "Commander, these patterns, they're becoming more complex, but there's something familiar about them. They remind me of old Earth mathematics, prime numbers, Fibonacci sequences. They're learning," Blackwood realized. "Every response our systems make, every defensive measure we take, they're using it to understand us." She turned to Wesley. "Can we mirror their approach? Use their own patterns to establish a baseline for communication?" Wesley's fingers flew across his console. "I can try to modify our quantum communication arrays to match their frequency patterns. But if we're wrong about their intentions, we could be giving them direct access to our systems." Tanaka finished, her tactical training evident in her concern. Blackwood made her decision. "Do it. But maintain quantum firewalls at maximum strength. If this is first contact, we need to take the risk. If it's an attack." She let the thought hang in the air. The next few minutes were tense as Wesley worked to align their communication systems with the alien patterns. Torres continued his analysis, feeding data to both Wesley and the ship's AI core. Tanaka kept the weapon systems primed, ready to respond to any hostile action. Suddenly, the alien vessels shifted position. Their perfect formation altered, creating new geometric patterns in space. The main vessel's energy signature changed, its dark hull beginning to emit a soft, pulsing light. "Energy spike," Torres announced. "There, wait." He studied his readings in disbelief. "Commander, they're lowering their defensive screens. Not all of them, but enough to show it's deliberate." Blackwood understood the gesture. It was a show of trust, or at least a calculated risk similar to their own. "Mirror their action," she ordered. "Lower our forward shields by the same percentage. Let's show them we understand." The bridge crew held their breath as the Sentinel's forward shields dimmed. For a moment, both human and alien ships hung in space, equally vulnerable to each other. Then, Wesley's console lit up with new activity. Commander, we're receiving a clear transmission. It's in English. The shock in his voice was evident. They had been studying us all along, learning our language through our defensive responses and communications. Before he could play the message, though, Torres's console erupted in warnings. Multiple ships emerging from FTL. His voice carried a note of panic. They're not with the alien fleet. Different energy signatures entirely. And they're charging weapons. The peaceful moment shattered as new players entered the cosmic stage. The situation had just become significantly more complicated, and Blackwood realized that the true test of humanity's readiness for the galactic community was about to begin. The space around the EDS Sentinel erupted into chaos as the new arrivals opened fire. Their weapons were unlike anything inhuman or their mysterious alien visitors' arsenals, beams of coruscating energy that seemed to distort the very fabric of spacetime. Incoming fire, Tanaka shouted, her cybernetic eye tracking multiple threat vectors simultaneously. Unknown energy weapons, our shields aren't calibrated for this type of attack. Commander Blackwood's mind raced through options as she assessed the situation. The new hostile fleet had positioned themselves between the Sentinel and their recent alien contacts, their intentions clear. They were here to prevent any possibility of alliance or communication. All hands, battle stations. Blackwood commanded. Tanaka, coordinate with the fleet for defensive formation Delta 7. Torres, I need options for those weapons. The Sentinel shuddered as the first volley impacted their shields. Torres worked frantically at his station, analyzing the attack patterns. The energy signatures are creating localized distortions in our shield matrix. If we don't adapt quickly, they'll tear right through our defenses. To everyone's surprise, the original alien vessel, the one they'd nearly established communication with, suddenly moved. Its massive form interposed itself between the Sentinel and the attacking fleet, its dark hull absorbing several direct hits without apparent damage. There, protecting us. Wesley's voice carried equal parts surprise and hope. Blackwood didn't waste time questioning their apparent allies' motivation. Torres, analyze their defensive capabilities. Whatever their hull is made of, it's clearly effective against these weapons. Wesley, try to reestablish communication. We need to coordinate if we're going to survive this. The bridge rocked with another impact as Tanaka reported, 2 Earth vessels taking heavy damage. Our shields are at 67% and falling. Traditional defense patterns aren't effective against their attack formation. Torres suddenly straightened at his console, excitement breaking through his professional demeanor. Commander, I figured it out. The weapons aren't just energy beams, they're creating quantum tunneling effects. That's why they're bypassing our shields. Can we counter it? Blackwood demanded. Yes, but we'll need to completely reconfigure our shield modulators. And, he hesitated, we'll need more power than we can generate on our own. Before Blackwood could respond, Wesley's console lit up. Commander, incoming transmission from the alien vessel. Text only, still in English. We offer assistance. Accept energy transfer. Blackwood didn't hesitate. Accept. Torres, coordinate with engineering. Tanaka, keep our weapons focused on protecting the civilian ships. We can't let any of those attacks reach Earth. The next few minutes were a blur of activity. The alien vessel extended what appeared to be energy conduits toward the Sentinel, streams of purple-tinted power connecting the 2 ships. Torres worked with engineering to integrate the alien power source with their systems, while Tanaka coordinated the fleet's defensive efforts. Shield reconfiguration complete. Torres announced, the alien power source is stable, and he grinned. Commander, you're going to want to see this. On the main view screen, the effects of their combined technology became immediately apparent. The Sentinel's shields now shimmered with a dark purple energy, similar to their alien allies' hull. The next volley from the hostile fleet dissipated harmlessly against the enhanced barrier. All ships in the fleet, Blackwood commanded. Transmitting shield modifications now. Implement immediately. She turned to Tanaka. Time to show them why you don't attack Earth. Weapons free, coordinated strike pattern on my mark. The Sentinels' weapons, enhanced by the alien power source, charged to levels they'd never achieved before. Around them, the rest of the Earth defense fleet began implementing the shield modifications, their defenses strengthening one by one. The hostile fleet seemed to realize their advantage was lost. Several of their ships began to adjust their positions, presumably preparing to retreat. But their commander wasn't ready to admit defeat. Their largest vessel began charging what appeared to be some sort of main weapon. Massive energy spike from the hostile flagship, Torres reported. Whatever they're charging, it's bigger than anything we've seen yet. Blackwood shared a look with Tanaka, both women understanding the gravity of the moment. All ships, prepare for concentrated fire on my mark. Let's show them what happens when humanity and its allies stand together. The hostile flagship's weapon reached full charge, its bow splitting open to reveal a massive energy cannon. But they had lost their moment of advantage, and now faced the combined might of Earth's fleet and their mysterious new allies. The next few moments would determine not just the outcome of this battle, but potentially humanity's place in the galactic community. Time seemed to slow on the bridge of the EDS Sentinel as the hostile flagship's weapon reached full charge. Commander Blackwood watched the massive energy cannon with a mixture of awe and determination. The combined fleet of Earth's forces and their new alien allies held position, weapons primed, and enhanced shields humming with purple energy. All ships in position, Tanaka reported, her cybernetic eye tracking multiple tactical displays. Enhanced shields holding at maximum capacity. We're as ready as we'll ever be. Torres monitored the energy readings from his station, his expression grim. That weapon's going to hit with enough force to tear a small moon apart, Commander. Even with our enhanced shields, we only need to survive long enough to hit back. Blackwood interrupted. She opened a channel to the fleet. All ships, maintain formation. Concentrate fire on my mark. We're not just defending Earth today. We're showing the galaxy that humanity won't be bullied or destroyed. The hostile flagship's weapon unleashed its devastating beam, a blinding lance of energy that distorted space itself as it traveled toward them. At the same moment, Blackwood gave the order. All ships, fire. The combined fleet released their synchronized assault. Hundreds of weapons, enhanced by their alien allies' power source, erupted simultaneously. The Sentinel's main cannon, now pulsing with the same dark energy as their shields, led the charge. The two massive energy attacks met in space between the fleets. For a moment, it seemed like reality itself might tear apart at the point of impact. The hostile beam pushed against their combined assault, creating a spectacular display of conflicting energies. Divert all available power to weapons, Blackwood ordered. We need more. Just then, Wesley's console lit up. Commander, message from our alien allies. Initiating synchronized resonance pattern. Prepare for power surge. Before anyone could react, the alien vessel began to pulse with intense energy. The power conduits connecting it to the Sentinel flared brilliantly, and suddenly their weapons surged with unprecedented force. The combined attack pushed back against the hostile beam, slowly but surely overwhelming it. It's working, Torres shouted over the strain of the ship's systems. Their weapon is destabilizing. The hostile flagship tried to compensate, pouring more power into their attack, but it was too late. The combined fleet's assault broke through, shattering their energy beam and striking the flagship directly. The massive ship's shields failed spectacularly, and secondary explosions began rippling along its hull. All ships, cease fire, Blackwood commanded as the hostile fleet's formation broke. Their remaining vessels began retreating, jumping to FTL in a desperate bid to escape. The flagship, heavily damaged but still intact, hung motionless in space. Wesley's console chimed again. Commander, we're receiving a transmission from our allies. They say this was a test. A test? Tanaka asked incredulously. A new message appeared on their screens, more detailed this time. We are the guardians of the Concordat, an alliance of spacefaring civilizations. The attack was a staged trial, one that every potential member species must face. Humanity has demonstrated not just technological capability, but the wisdom to attempt communication before combat, the ability to adapt to new situations, and the willingness to trust and cooperate with unknown allies. You have proven yourselves worthy of joining the galactic community. The bridge crew stood in stunned silence as the implications sank in. The hostile fleet hadn't been trying to destroy them. They had been part of an elaborate evaluation of humanity's readiness for first contact. So, Torres said with a slight smile, we just passed our first galactic test. Blackwood nodded, allowing herself to relax slightly. It seems we did more than that. We proved humanity belongs among the stars. She turned to Wesley. Open a channel to both vessels. I think it's time we had a proper introduction to our new allies. As the communication channels opened and formal first contact began, Blackwood couldn't help but feel proud. Humanity had faced its trial by fire and emerged stronger, not just surviving, but proving their worth to the galactic community. The future that awaited them would be challenging, but they had shown they were ready to face it. The massive alien vessel, now revealed to be a Concordat diplomatic ship, moved closer, its dark hull now shimmering with welcoming lights. Around the Sentinel, the Earth Defense Fleet began standing down from battle stations, their crews celebrating the historic moment. You know, Tanaka said, watching the scene unfold, when I woke up this morning, I didn't expect to help humanity join a galactic alliance. Blackwood smiled. That's the thing about exploring space, Chief. You never know what each day might bring. She straightened her uniform and headed toward the ship's conference room. Now let's go meet our new neighbors properly. As she walked, Blackwood reflected on how quickly everything had changed. In just a few hours, humanity had gone from wondering if they were alone in the universe to proving themselves worthy of joining an advanced galactic civilization. It wasn't just a victory. It was the beginning of a new chapter in human history. The stars seemed brighter somehow as Earth's fleet and their new allies moved into formation for the formal diplomatic proceedings. Humanity's future among the stars was just beginning, and it promised to be more incredible than anyone could have imagined.